Hello. How is everybody? Thank you for joining us. You are watching Paint Party Online. My name is Fran, and I'll be right with you. Here comes a new loop from Monochrome Sweatsuit. Hi! Hello! I forgot to take the filter off my face. We're going to just enjoy it. We're going to leave it. My name is Fran. Welcome. You're watching Paint Party Online. This is a show that happens every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/CurioLab. What is CurioLab? CurioLab is an Atlanta-based creative studio, an arts and entertainment collective, specializing in live visual art and entertainment. On Tuesdays, we do Paint Party. Again, I said my name is Francis, and I'm the host. Every week, I have someone here with me providing us with live music. I'm going to show them off right now. Everyone help me welcome Monochrome Sweatsuit.
Hey, coming at you now. Making the loops. Caught me in real time, making a loop.
Just saying hello.
Hey, Capigen! Exclamation point Capigen.
He makes the live loops every week on Paint Party. He'll be joining us on the paint pouring floor tonight. Paint Party Online is a show where every week we explore the art of acrylic paint pouring through completing 2 to 3 paintings each episode, alternating between myself painting, Monochrome Sweatsuit, and sometimes we have a guest. Like tonight, we have a guest. Please help me welcome a new friend of mine who I've met recently and grown to love very quickly. Atlanta-based photographer, multidisciplinary artist, I will say. Please help me give a warm welcome to Genesis. Yes, I had to exit, so
Okay.
this happened.
What's poppin', y'all?
How are you doing, Genesis?
I'm pretty good. I'm doing swell. I got off work today. Just got done door dashing like an hour ago, so this is pretty good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, we really appreciate you joining us here tonight. You're going to be participating in some acrylic paint pouring. What is your experience with painting?
You're making a lot of messes, I would say.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. So
You're in the right place.
Yeah.
Pho-
Mostly sketching. I feel like it's mostly what I've done. So
Flows by Ari says we got to get a new face filter in here. So
I like this one though. But okay.
Hey, we can always come back to it. But right now, I think this is also appropriate.
I'm a guitar. All right. Yeah, I fuck with that. That's cool. Hey everybody, what's up? We're live streaming. We're gonna be painting today.
Welcome in, everyone. Lil Bigfoot's here. Sun King. Photos by Ari. Elroy Jetson. Fossilized Human. Fragile. I Suck Veggies. All the good people are here joining us for Paint Party Online. And Genesis is going to be painting with us today. They have some color palettes, or some photos that they submitted. This week's theme is heroes. Whoever a hero is to you. It doesn't have to be a superhero, but it can be as well. And Genesis submitted some photos that we chose one from and created a palette with, and they're going to be using that to paint tonight. We were talking a little bit about techniques before the show, but I wanted to kind of briefly go over some of those options of techniques that we could be using, so the audience can kind of gain a little bit of awareness of some of the things they might be seeing tonight, and so you can have a moment to think about what you want to do with this paint.
Okay.
How you want to manipulate it, what you want it to do. So you have your color palette. We're going to be showing that in a minute. But some of the options that you could be using tonight, you could be doing a dirty pour, which is kind of one of our staple techniques that we use here on Paint Party Online. It's where we take our mixed paints and we layer them over on top of each other into one single cup until we fill it up, and then we take that cup and pour it across our canvas however we see fit until we've either ran out of paint or we've covered the canvas completely, then we can choose to do after that whatever we want. We can tilt it. We can spin it out. We can take tools and continue to manipulate the paint. So dirty pour is option number 1. Can't forget Visk. Visk, I'm shouting you out too. I see you. I hear you. We appreciate you. We did this. That's what we say on Paint Party. We did this.
We did this.
We did this.
Yeah, okay, cool. We did this.
Another option for a technique that you could do is, I remember you told me you know what technique you want to do. I just remembered that. But I'm going to explain it to the audience anyway. A split cup pour, which I'll show what device we would use for that. Our good friend Fossilized Human made us some... Oh, I got to make us small. There we go. Made us some 3D printed split cups that we're going to be using tonight. Genesis said they want to use this one for their pour. So we're going to clean this up a little bit, and they're going to pour their paint into here, and it'll keep all the colors separated. And then they'll take to their canvas, and again, kind of intuitively put it wherever you'd like.
Okay, cool.
We'll likely add a base coat of paint first, just so you have somewhere for that paint to sit on top of instead of just the canvas.
Okay.
Because it'll be easier to spread and manipulate that way.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Photos by Ari. Oh my gosh. Photos by Ari just gifted us 5 subscriptions. And we are now 5 subscriptions closer to our sub goal. And once we reach our sub goal, which the progress is right here at the bottom of my screen, we're at 30 out of 100 subs right now. Once we reach 100, we do a giveaway.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I need to run and grab the current item going in our giveaway, but it is one of my latest pieces of resin work. It's like a neon green resin tray, which you may have seen in person in the past, but it's a reptile textured resin tray, and we're going to be adding that into the giveaway bag. So thank you, Photos by Ari, for contributing to that. And if you are here when we reach our sub goal giveaway, all you have to do is enter the keyword in chat, and you can be eligible to win whatever is in the giveaway bag. And it's going to be a variety of items: paintings, resin pieces, comic books, pieces of music from Monochrome Sweatsuit and Chris Benoit, all kinds of gifts from artists from Curio Lab. So we appreciate y'all for contributing to the channel, and we want to give back in the form of a giveaway. So thank you. We're going to continue on. I want to get to Genesis painting in just a moment.
That's me.
We're going to show off real quick the paintings from last week. There we go. All right, Genesis, will you come on this side for me?
Yeah,
there we
sure.
go. Here, you come on this side so we can both be on. There we go.
Okay,
We just
perfect.
basically switch.
It's like a weather forecast.
Yeah. So last week, these are the paintings that we made. Monochrome Sweatsuit killed it on this one. This was made using some UV paints, and he manipulated the paint using a marble. And it dried very nice. Very nice. I'm going to pour some epoxy resin over this to finish it. And then we're probably going to be putting this in the shop at some point. So you might be able to purchase this in the near future if you so choose. Yeah, it dried amazing. Fragile agrees. This one was our first painting from last week, inspired by a photo of a reptile that I believe Boo knows. It was either Fossil or Boo knows. No, it's escaping me, so please correct me in chat. But this color palette was inspired by a photo of a reptile submitted by one of our lovely Curio Lab audience members. You can submit photos in our Discord each week, depending on the theme, and we're going to be using those photos for color palette inspiration. This was the Mohawk turtle fossil. This is that's what it was. And we did we used a squeegee on this one.
Oh, cool.
So we didn't even mix our paints on this one. We just took acrylic paint by itself and just covered in dots and
Just went for
lines, and then just went for it.
Okay.
And then I would do like one layer and take smaller tools and do extra like curves and lines and stuff. And I'm going to likely continue to add onto this as well. This is just kind of the first few layers. That's one of the wonderful things about Paint Party is we like to look over our paintings from the previous week and decide, do we want to leave it as is, or do we want to continue adding to it, or do we want to pour over it and start over? You know, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Set these aside for now. These last two we're going to see kind of a little bit of a disappointment on my end for how dark they dried. You can't really see the UV that was there last week. It definitely was a lot brighter last week, but I think that was potentially due to using too much Floetrol, too much pouring medium. So when you're mixing your acrylic paints, you're usually mixing with some kind of like additive or a pouring medium to thin it out. And sometimes if the ratio of pouring medium to paint is higher or too high, then you'll have a dried result that won't match like what you see when you're pouring.
Okay.
So we're probably going to start over on these, and that's okay. You know, lessons learned. It looked great while we were pouring it, so that is that. So let's go ahead and show off that photo of your or your color palette. Show that off in just a moment. Here we go. Photo poll. Photo number 1, maybe. Not photo number 1. We're going to show the right photo in a minute. There we go.
The big man, David Berman.
So talk a little bit about this selection that you've made.
So I picked David Berman. Honestly, I don't have too many heroes, but I kind of consider him to be a very big influence on me. You know, he's a poet who's sadly no longer with us. I think he took his life back in 2019. But I really like him because of the stuff he kind of made. A lot of the poetry he wrote about kind of stemmed from his own personal experiences with life. And he was also, I believe, in 2 separate bands. One was called Purple Mountains and the other one was called the Silver Jews. So, but yeah, I mean, he's in a lot of different things. I think the Avalanches, the rap group, sampled like one of his poems and then kind of put it in the background while he's like talking and stuff, and then like they kind of mixed it together. It's pretty cool. That's actually how I found out about him. The Avalanches.
Was through the Avalanches? That's
yeah,
so cool.
I think it's like, yeah, I love the Avalanches.
Me too.
But I think it's like unreleased, so you have to like look it up on YouTube.
I was gonna say because I don't think I'd heard that,
Yeah.
and so I need to go back and take a look.
Yeah, a lot of their unreleased music is on YouTube.
Okay.
And I really like them a lot. So
I found the Avalanches through when I was working for college radio at Florida State, and they had a couple of Avalanches CDs, so that was how I came across them.
Cool. But yeah, he's a very, very cool guy. I like him a lot. He's very sick.
Well, we're gonna get some paints ready for you, and then you said you wanted to use this split cup right here.
Yes.
And the only thing that I wasn't able to do before the show, usually I like go through all my paints and pick them out ahead of time. So we're going to be picking them during the show, which is okay. So while I pick my paints, or while I pick the paints for you, I wanted to ask you a little bit about something you got to participate in this weekend, because we mentioned that you are a photographer.
Yes.
And you got to show some of your work at an event called Artist Forum this weekend, which is something that I talked to you guys in chat a little bit about. Let me get on camera, I guess, while I'm talking. Curio Lab was at the first Artist Forum in Atlanta, and Genesis got to participate in the most recent one, and I wanted to kind of hear what you thought, how it went.
It was good. I met a lot of really cool artists. I had never really sold my pictures as prints before. Most of the stuff I've ever done is usually like I'm just taking pictures for other people.
Yeah.
So weddings, event photography, conceptual shoots, portraits and stuff. But it was a very good experience. I was a little unprepared. I tried to get business cards from UPS.
Ooh.
And they were like, yeah, we can't do that like in one day. You have to tell us a week in advance through our website. I'm like, that's fair, but okay. So, but I mean, it was still fun. I sold about 4 pictures, so not
That's
the
awesome.
flex, but it was fun.
No, I think I would have been happy selling one thing at that event. You know,
I was honestly expecting only to sell like one thing, but yeah, in total I sold about 4.
That's
and
awesome.
It was really fun, and everyone there is like massively talented too, which I think
Yeah.
is really cool. And even the people that stop by, I think the experience of people coming by to look at your stuff is like even more fun, because then they ask questions about it, why you made it, and like when you made it, where it was, and all that stuff. So
That was part of the experience I really enjoyed being there too, is just getting to talk to the other artists and get to hear about, you know, their thought process behind their work, or even like if this was their first time or not, because that was my first time as well. So I was a little nervous, but it turned out to be incredible.
Yeah, it was very good. I brought my NASCAR cardboard cutout with me too, so that was.
What? Who was it?
I don't know who it was. I got it at an antique store, and it's like some white guy.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like some NASCAR driver, and it's literally just him smiling.
I wonder if it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. or Dale Earnhardt.
He was wearing like a Home Depot thing. So if you're a NASCAR fan and you know who I'm talking about potentially, I don't know. I don't actually know what to say because I don't have your information. You know.
Say it in chat. Let us know in chat.
Yeah.
If you know who this is. I grew up, so my grandfather and my uncle built race cars, and my dad even tried racing at one point. Never to the NASCAR level. It was always on the local level. But I did get to go, because they were interested in racing, we did go to the Daytona 500 one year when I was younger. So I have a little checkered pin, and a little checkered flag enamel pin from that. That's like the main memory I have, is just getting that, because I was so young and uninterested in racing at the time that I was just like, okay, all right.
I really want to race some cars, but like on the illegal level.
There we go.
If I could street race, that'd be kind of cool. But sadly I drive a Corolla, so I don't know if I can pull that off.
Harder to do in Atlanta.
Yeah, Midnight Club. If anyone's ever played that game for the PS2.
Wait. I have an anecdote.
Please tell us.
This is a good one, because I don't get to tell the story often. Did y'all have the high school cop at your school?
Yeah.
Right? Well, in my school, they made you take like college prep or tech prep for like your classes. So I took auto tech for one of my classes, and the school cop would come by and just like talk shit with the teacher. And I one time sat in there and overheard. He was telling us that the police got like straight up embarrassed in Forsyth and Dawson County by someone driving a Geo. Cops couldn't catch them. They just like knew the roads they were using, and they got dusted in a Geo.
Oh my god. Yeah, I see a lot of things online whenever, like, I used to watch like I got fixated on like cop chasing videos where like the suspect actually gets away, and usually it's just like they were just speeding and they were trying to just get away from the police officers, and the cops can't catch up. But like something I found out is like a lot of the time, if like cops can't like if it's like just a routine stop, like they'll just straight up give up. They'll be like, okay, like they won, like it is what it is, they beat me.
I saw one earlier today where a guy was trying to evade police in Florida, I think, and he jumped off a bridge and didn't check the water below where he jumped, and he literally jumped into a gator.
Wait, he what?
He jumped into the water, and the gator was just down there waiting. So he jumped into the water, and he got tore up. I think he died.
That's
from
terrible.
A gator attack.
Oh my
So
gosh.
jump straight into it.
Yep, look before you jump.
That's a typical Florida story. I should know.
Oh,
I grew
yeah.
up there.
So if you don't already know, we host another show on Fridays called Too Much Information,
Oh wow.
in which, because of the amount of news articles and just information in general that Justin consumes on a daily basis, we thought it would be a cool idea to gather all of those stories and kind of recap them based on category. So we have a Florida Man category of stories that we go over every week on Fridays. So if you ever want to join us on that, as far as just tuning in and getting to join in on the bizarre commentary.
Yeah, I
Might
would
be
probably
worth
tune
it.
into that. Florida born and, well, not born and raised, but Florida raised, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Florida
a really,
born.
It's a very wild and hectic place, honestly. I think it's the water.
Yeah, there's something.
I unironically think
Something in
it's-
that Gulf.
I mean, like, because, like, you're told in Florida that, like, our water is, like, the cleanest or something. And I just kind of feel like you never know. There could be something they're putting in there.
Absolutely.
It's a very wild state.
So, I have some cups for us.
All right.
And we're going to be putting a little bit of paint in these cups. I do have, if you're interested, I have some gloves.
I will take those.
And then
Thank
whenever you, and you're welcome to use like multiples, like if you get a pair really messy and you can't touch anything with them, just you can toss them in the trash right there.
Okay.
And then there's plenty for you to use.
Okay, cool.
Because, yeah, this gets so messy. Sometimes I say F it, and I also, like, I don't care, and get paint everywhere. And then it takes, like, the whole rest of the week just to, like, scrape the paint off of my skin.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so worth it. Fragili said, you drink the water in Finland and instantly get better at guitar or keyboards. Facts.
I have a Midnight Club Dub Edition sticker in my Tech 2 Dust. That's sick.
That's so sick, Fragili.
Midnight Club is like such a fun racing game. I miss it. That and like Burnout Paradise.
Yeah.
Like me and my cousins would always just crash our cars in that, and like do little insurance mode. So it's like how many cars can you like wreck?
Yeah.
And stuff.
I forget what the racing simulator game that my dad had when I was younger, but it was like attached to the, like, it had the steering wheel and the pedals that would attach to your computer
I know what you're talking
or your
about.
desk or whatever, it would clamp on.
Mm-hmm.
And it vibrated too, so it was
Yeah. My
hilarious.
cousin
But I
had
would just
that-
crash that everywhere.
Yeah, my cousin had that for Xbox.
That's so sick.
I forget what he used it for. I think he used it for Forza. I'm pretty sure, like years ago.
I don't know
It's
if I'm
crazy what technology you can do these days.
No. Did you hear about the new GoldenEye?
No,
Not the new GoldenEye, but I guess they're rebooting it.
I didn't know that.
Monochrome Sweatsuit can tell you more about it.
Yeah, they finally are getting GoldenEye booted for online play for Nintendo Switch,
Oh wow.
and it's gonna be badass. And I did find someone do a mod earlier where they plugged in Mario characters, but like you can play GoldenEye, but you're Mario, and you have the James Bond gun, and you have to go shoot Bowser. It's pretty tight.
It's
Oh
really
my
But
gosh.
wild.
The one they're gonna put on Switch is gonna have online play, and I'm ready. There's only like 4 video games in life I'm good at. I suck at all the rest of them,
Mm-hmm.
but that's one of the 4.
Oh wow.
So
We're trying to play that on like a community stream night,
Mm-hmm.
so we can play with other people in chat too.
Oh nice.
So I have the paints put in the cup here, which I'm going to zoom out. So sorry. I'm going to zoom out so people can see it. There we go. And then I'm going to pour a little bit of pouring medium in these.
Okay.
And then we'll collectively mix them and get them to the consistency that we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be using this Floetrol latex-based paint additive. You can get this at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever.
Okay.
Order it online. You don't have to use Floetrol. You can use, like, if you're just in a pinch, you can use just a little bit of water. You can also use glue-all. You can use like types of glue to mix with your paints. So I'm gonna pour like about that much, and I'm gonna get this started and then pass it off to you if that's cool.
Okay. So just swirl it.
Just swirl it, and so what I like to
I kind of want to drink it.
I know. Trust me, especially when all the colors are like in one cup,
Mm-hmm.
it looks so enticing.
It kind of does. I'm not gonna lie.
Um,
What happens if you drink paint?
that's a good
We
question.
should find out.
We've had someone eat paint on the show before.
Really?
They haven't been back in a while, so
Okay.
I guess I need to check on them. Ty, where are you? Are you okay? No, he's okay.
So is this paint like edible or like?
That would be a good idea though, to do edible
That would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
like marble cake pours or something.
Eat your art.
Eat your art. Eat your art out.
Okay, so I think mine's.
So mix it for maybe like 20 more seconds,
Okay.
just so and also like dig up under there
Mm-hmm.
and just ensure that you got all the clumps out.
Okay, I'm gonna put it over here so everybody can.
Oh yeah, show it off.
Some ASMR.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to corner the visual ASMR
Mhm.
audience here.
And I did not forget about your loop request. I am literally hypothesizing now.
Okay.
And I have plugged up a different synth that allows me to drop tune to drop C, which is as close as I can get to Meshuggah without detuning a guitar.
Oh, God. Okay, cool.
But it'll be done via MIDI, so you're going to get some MIDI metal tonight.
So ready for MIDI
That's
metal.
awesome. You mean like Doom 64?
I'm gonna make something for you, and I may craft something in the DAW for a minute. Where,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we may be doing
excited.
something wild,
Alright,
y'all.
that one should be good.
Okay.
And then we'll start mixing these others as well. I'll get you some of these.
Cool. All right.
Fossilized said, I don't know about Floetrol, but acrylic is non-toxic. All right. I don't know about this latex paint additive being non-toxic, though.
Latex paint? I mean, like, if you drink it, that's just like latex in your throat. That's not like bad. That's like, protective coating. You go into work tomorrow and it's like, I don't know.
What if your voice changes?
I think that would be, like, if anything, it'd just make your voice sound a little smoother.
I know, yeah. You have a very buttery voice.
Exactly. I think so.
What's up, Remix? Remix is in the chat, fellow paint pour streamer.
Latex in your throat doesn't sound, never mind.
Shout out to Remix. Hope you're doing well. We're mixing up paints for the first pour of the night, and this is Genesis. They are joining us tonight. And this is their photo that they submitted for Hero Night.
It's David Berman.
Berman.
David.
Berman.
He's a cool guy.
All right, we're almost there.
Okay. What do you think? This one's good?
Yeah, that one looks pretty good.
Okay.
And I'm going to check all of them right before we get started,
Okay.
just as a last measure. And then, yeah, you have 5 colors, and then you have 5 slots there, so you'll have the perfect amount. And I'm going to get you, let's see. Because of the amount of paint you have, I'm trying to think if you need a base coat. I think you do.
Okay. What colors are there for the base coat?
I can either make a base coat out of one of the colors that you're using.
Okay.
So if you could choose one, what would it be?
I think brown would work since it's the darkest.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would provide really cool contrast.
Cool.
So then what I will do is make just a slightly larger cup of black or of brown. Then I'm gonna get right under you for just a second so I can get some paint.
Cool.
And then if you want to, while I'm doing that, we can set this canvas aside for now. And then if you want to take your split cup and start filling in those slots.
So you just pour them in the slots and that's it?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll be over here
Okay.
and I'll be mixing these paints.
Here's what's going to happen on my end. Everyone's
Okay.
getting a paint party first tonight. I'm going to let this loop breathe for just a moment more because I have to think. And then what's happening is I'm stacking drum loops in the DAW and I'm making a metal composition on the fly tonight for our paint pour. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes to begin that process.
Okay.
And then it's on. Get ready for heavy metal paint pours.
And then it's on! It's on!
In my element when it comes to heavy metal. It's my meditation music. I read this thing online where someone was like, metal music is literally just like classical music, but like faster and
Classical music on 3-4 times speed.
like if Bach was just like really angry and just like, had access to like electricity or something. And just like went up in the pit and was just like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking spin kick or something.
Fossilized Human said that he put the Avalanche song with David Berman in the Discord under music links so people can check it out.
Oh, cool. Am I
Thank
pouring
you.
this right, do you think?
That's okay. Yeah, it's overlapping just a little bit.
Okay.
So if you want to include a little less paint just so it doesn't overlap,
Okay.
that's fine. But it's not a big deal that it overlaps either.
Okay. Cool.
It's all fun.
Kind of looks like one of those like videos you see on like candy or whatever that they make. It's just like they pour it in the thing and then like.
And it just looks all like like just multicolored goo, and then
Yeah.
it's all of a sudden.
It kind of looks like a
really
mint.
cool
This kind of looks like toothpaste.
Yeah. You
You
need
know?
a little crest palette.
Yeah, let me show the.
Onion Booty, what's up? What's up? What's up? You guys got to play Trombone Champ. I heard that's a fun game. I've seen a couple streamers playing it. It does look like fun.
Okay. I'm forgetting another color. No, this is.
Oh yeah, you got your brown color, and then you got. Oh, so I guess that has 6 in it. My bad. I miscounted.
Oh, you're good.
You could put another layer of
I'll probably do
another
that
color.
minty one, cause or
Yeah.
like the like light green, because I feel like that got kind of squashed.
Okay. Let's do
Kinda
it.
Very carefully pour this in there. Oh shit. Okay. Well,
It looks great.
it'll work.
It will.
We'll make it work. I meant to do that. I did that on purpose.
It's a happy accident.
There are no accidents. I did that completely and entirely.
It's intentional.
It was intentional.
I'm all about intention.
I'm gonna pour this like very carefully. There we go. Oh, shoot!
Gotta get Genesis on in frame here.
Can you give me like the silly thing that made my nose disappear? I think that was funny.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wait, actually, what other filters are there? Can I see?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Genesis is first time. This is their first time experiencing the Snapchat filter life on stream.
Oh, wait, is there a Thanos one?
Wait, I can look it up. Hold on. Let's see. Oh wait, no, I did have one. I had one saved.
Oh my gosh. I saw
Where'd it go?
Thanos for like a second.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. Wait.
Oh, wait.
Okay. Now you go. There we go. You look great.
Thank you.
This really creeped my friend out a few weeks ago when I wore this filter.
That's
But I love it.
I love this filter. We're creating the Infinity Stones. I'm so glad you guys could join us. I'm going to be snapping half the population away. 2022 is a bit too much, so I think I'm going to kind of just do everybody a favor and just kind of, you know.
Clean slate. Here we go.
Okay. So that brown definitely like covered up like all of my colors.
That's okay because it will go on the bottom of everything. And then
Okay.
think about what's on the bottom of the cup will actually be what's coming out last. So that'll be what's on top.
Oh, so if anything. Okay.
So you're fine. So this is your base coat of brown here. If you want to take that and start to cover your canvas first.
So I just pour it on there? Or
Yeah,
like
you can
do I-
just pour it on. You can pour it straight in the middle. Or you can just pour it around and then use the popsicle stick to spread it if you like.
Oh, okay. Let's try that. I'm going to be talking a little bit. If that's all right.
Yeah.
So I got in trouble with DoorDash today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they sent me an order for a Japanese restaurant, and the address was wrong, and it wasn't my fault. So I went to the wrong address, like that was like a mile away, and then I was like, oh, wait, let me just type in like the actual restaurant name and try to find this restaurant. So, you know, I find the restaurant. I'm like 30 minutes late at this point. I go to the apartment I'm supposed to go to, and this like girl comes out and she's like, okay, like thank you. I'm like, all right, sweet, great, like that's fine. And then I get like a message later from DoorDash and it's like, yeah, you didn't deliver the food on time, so we're gonna like review it, and if we decide that we don't want you anymore, you can't deliver with us. And I'm like, that's cool. I'll just Grubhub, I guess, but also it's not my fault.
That's fine. I'll just go work for your competition.
Literally, I'm like, I don't care.
Go ahead. There are plenty of competitive.
I mean, am I allowed to like trash DoorDash on stream or like no?
We're not trying to get sponsored by
Okay.
DoorDash.
Okay, Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the reasons they have to put lids on the food.
Wait, why?
Okay. I'll tell you a story real quick. I will briefly pause from me blasting the same drum loop for 16 bars while I get ready to give us some drop C tunage. I used to work for a delivery service unnamed. I've definitely said their name on this network before, but whatever. And I have a really good memory for all kinds of things, and I especially remember who zero tips. I never forget that.
Mm-hmm.
So I started getting these deliveries to all these corporate buildings where I was taking somewhere between $200 to $300 worth of food to like the top floor of a building and going through a lot of difficulty to do it and getting zero tipped. So what I started doing was taking the lids off of all the food and taking pictures of it and helping myself to a plate-sized portion of a little bit of everything.
Oh, my God.
And then rearranging the food to look like it was in the photos again and then closing their portions and taking it back. And I only did this to people that zero tipped me. And so I don't judge you is what I'm saying.
Nice.
No judgment here.
So you like just took a little bit of food.
Yeah, and made a little dream plate.
Oh my gosh.
Not enough to make a difference, but
I don't know what
just
it
enough to
is.
feel like you got something over
People
on
who
someone.
people who don't tip are the worst. If you're like a person who just doesn't tip, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I've worked for Domino's before when I was like 18. And I think one of the worst feelings is like when you drive really far, it's like a really big order, and they just don't tip you. And they'll always put like a slash mark through the zero just to make it like hurt even more. And I'm just like, why?
Yeah, like what do you get out of that?
Yeah, like what did I do to you? You know? I don't vibe with that. Something I've kind of realized too, people that tend to talk to whoever is like their server or whatever, like a lot, are not going to tip.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of like schmoozing because like I remember I used to work for this company called Rock and Roll Sushi, and there was like a guy that was like, yeah, I used to play for the NFL, when he like brought his kids in, and they're all like everybody in his family is like jacked, like the mom, like the kids are like teenagers and like they're huge or whatever. They all look like they're gonna just like rip somebody's arms off or something. And he's like, yeah, I used to play for the NFL. We bought a house out here, and it's like really big and stuff. I'm like, oh, cool. He's like telling me his like life story. I did everything right. It was like a big like $60, $50 like bill or like tab or whatever, right? So like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take those dishes. Here's your check. He signs it. I go in the back. I come back, and it's like a zero with a slash through it. I'm like, all right, man. Like that's cool.
Wow.
That's very nice.
Took you a
do.
whole extra like half a second to think about that slash, and you thought it through, and you said, "Yep, I'm doing it."
It's evil. I don't know what it is. It's like people that like go to like grocery stores and like don't put the shopping cart where it's supposed to go. Like you get nothing out of it, but like you should do it. You know? I don't know. I feel like you can tell like a lot about somebody's character if like they take a shopping cart and they just don't return it. I feel like it's evil.
They just like leave it in the parking spot.
Yeah, like come on. It'll take you like 10 seconds.
Shots fired.
Literally.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out to St. Augie for the gifted subs. We got 5 more gifted subs just a moment ago. We are at 35 out of 100 with our sub goal. So thank you for that, St. Augie.
Okay, so it's like okay if I put the paint on the sides too, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm like coating it like completely.
Visk says, when I worked at a grocery store, when our state passed a plastic bag rule, people stole all the baskets.
Why? I don't understand that. Y'all remember like in 2020 when people were like buying up toilet paper and stuff? Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Did you ever watch that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where at the end of it they find out that like one of the characters they've been friends with all along ended up being a COVID hoarder and like had a whole closet full of stuff, and he was having a fake funeral for himself?
No.
And so that's the reason why they were all at the house, and that's how they found out, because someone was trying to go to the bathroom and they opened the door and it was just like toilet paper on toilet paper on toilet paper.
Oh my god.
And then everyone left in disgust. They were just like, oh. First of all, this person was having a fake funeral for themselves.
This person was shitting a lot. That's disgusting. I haven't seen that episode. I really need to get in that show. I've seen a couple episodes. It's really funny. I mostly I think my thing for a while was It's Always Sunny.
Oh yeah,
I
that
love
one
that
was
show.
good for a while. Now they have a podcast.
They
which
do?
I haven't checked out
Oh wow.
because I don't want the image to be ruined.
Mm.
But you know what? It could be good. So maybe I'm missing out. My name is Team says, I once got beat up at an Aldi for trying to return a lady's cart. Over a quarter, 25 cents. Moral of the story, don't shop at Aldi.
Don't shop at Aldi. Wait, what's Aldi?
Aldi is another grocery store. It's one that they have like. I've only been to it maybe once, but I think you do have to pay for their shopping carts.
Oh wow.
You have to pay like 25 cents
That's
or something
bougie.
like that.
I ain't never been. I've definitely seen this store. I've never been inside. I thought it was a bank. All this time. I thought Aldi was a. You know what I'm kind of sad that they don't have out here in Georgia? Jack in the Box.
Oh yeah, I've still never experienced that.
It's really cool, and the commercials are also really funny.
I do appreciate those.
I recommend people to watch the commercials. They're very funny. I'm not shilling out for a corporation right now. I'm just saying like, they're actually pretty
Just
funny.
saying they're fucking funny.
Yes. Okay, I've coded that as best as I could.
It looks great. So now you got your split cup and you're ready to go.
Actually, wait. There's a little. This is gonna bug me. I'm gonna fix this.
I respect how thorough you're being.
Thank you.
Fragili said my favorite Curb episode was when Larry doesn't want to go to the party, so he decides to go on the wrong day and then get out of it.
Oh my gosh.
I think they have a new season coming out too. So
I really like that show just from what I've seen, just because of how relatable it is.
It did get very, very meta after a while. But I still get a kick out of it. So.
Nice.
I
I forgot I'm Thanos. Should keep it.
All right. Yeah, Thanos is staying. 100% Larry lives in all of us.
How do I bring Thanos back?
Oh, I can bring Thanos back. Watch.
Okay.
I just got to get it off of me. There we go. You're seeing it. There we go. All right. So you have your split cup. You have your metal going right now.
Okay, cool.
Whenever you're ready.
So I just pour the...
Yeah, you can just pour.
Sometimes painting requires the strongest wills to show it off. It's the Infinity Stones, baby. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out, let me think, how I want to do this. Okay, I'm just going for it.
Going for it.
Oh, wow. I got my toothpaste on here. This is like when you're a little kid and like you squeeze toothpaste on the walls and then your mom gets really pissed off. And it's just like, what are you doing? It's like I'm expressing myself.
I'm making art.
I am. Mom. That's what I'm saying. This is literally Colgate. Colgate needs to sponsor you guys after this. I think I got a good number of it out. There's still a lot in there, but okay.
All right, so you've poured it. So now
Mm-hmm.
you can do a couple of things.
Okay.
You have a choice to take some heat to it because there might be some air bubbles or some layers of paint that want to expose itself, and you can use the heat to do that. If you do that, you just let me know, and I'll just quickly run it over it so that way you don't have to mess with it with your gloves.
Okay.
But that's one option. You can tilt it
Tilt it.
from corner to corner to kind of push the paint where you want it to go.
Okay.
If there's like a part that you want to spread further, I
Mhm.
really like how thin these lines are.
Yeah.
Very web-like.
We have a
get
small
closer
loop
in.
ready to go ahead and
Actually-
rock out.
Okay, cool.
I took the volume down from y'all because I wanted to make it a surprise.
Oh, really?
But I'm ready to like shred on it in layers to some more life. It's just a 16 bar
keep
drum
going.
loop with
Okay,
one
cool,
riff,
cool. I'm gonna go a little bit more.
but I'm gonna get ready to do it for y'all.
We're ready for it.
I think I have a
Okay.
little idea.
Genesis is taking the rest of their paint and pouring it into the same split cup they just poured from so they can add more.
Yes. This is gonna be like my sky. Kinda, you know. Trying to get that on the edge as much as I can. Kind of missed it a little bit. That's okay.
No, that's all good.
Is it okay if I just like pour the cup and then, like,
Yeah.
if you're in chat right now, I want you to go to the nearest person and punch them. It's all been a subliminal message. This feels like this reminds me of Metalocalypse for some reason. I don't know why.
Definitely.
A little bit, yeah. Okay, so. Cool. All right. All right. What else? There's like a lighter blue. What's this? Let's try this. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Cool, cool.
So, there are also some tools here I will show you
Okay.
where if you wanted to take like something like a comb or like a wooden stick or anything,
Mm-hmm.
if you wanted to create lines or multiple lines,
Okay.
this is how you could do that.
Okay, cool. So how would you...
So with this, you could just use one or the other,
Mm-hmm.
or one at a time, I guess. So with this,
Mm-hmm.
you would like lightly put the tips into the paint and then move it from one side to the other and then take it out. And you'd want to like clean it after each time so you don't put that paint back on the canvas, unless that's something you want.
Okay. So like, it's kind of like that.
Yep, you can just go lightly. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, let's get the music going.
Nice. So then I'll clear that off for you.
Thank you.
And then you can just go as many times as you'd like.
Okay, all right. This makes me really want to play Doom. Doom Eternal.
This makes me want to speed run Resident Evil.
Really?
That's like the one of the few video games that I will play.
Wait, which one?
Resident Evil 4.
Oh, the fourth one?
Yeah.
You know they're remaking it?
Yes, we've been talking about it because we're very excited.
I'm so pumped.
You can
up
play
for
it in VR.
That's so... Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be so scary. I can't wait to see Leon, like, spin kick people.
I know.
Roundhouse.
Did you ever play? We were talking about this a few weeks ago too, because Justin unlocked the ability to where you can like wear different outfits, and you can have like the mobster outfit, or like, and you can have Ashley in like armor.
I've never...
And then when she's in armor, she can't. It's like harder to hurt her,
Oh, wow.
or something like that, I think.
That's pretty cool.
But Justin's been working on speedrunning that game so we can do it on stream.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't played any of the new ones, actually, I don't think.
Neither have we.
Sadly. Really? Oh.
That was the best I could come up with on the spot for
That's pretty sick.
for a metal Meshuggah type riff, because for me to nail polyrhythms with the stuff live, I gotta like practice, and I'm gotta be honest, I'm not warmed up enough to pull off real
Respect
Meshuggah.
for taking the request and running with it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I tried, I tried my best.
liked it.
I need to properly revisit my polyrhythm metal riffing. I'm gonna go see him October 16th. So,
Yeah, I had no idea they were coming to Georgia.
I jumped on the chance to see it because who knows when they'll be back.
It's amazing. Okay, I think I'm gonna use the little stick.
Nice.
Okay. So the stick, I just poke.
Yeah, you could just poke it. You can just like start going in any direction you want with it.
Okay, I'm gonna do hatching lines. So like,
Very nice.
I feel like Bob Ross. Just want to take your brush and beat the devil out of it.
Fossil says, if you like RE4, I highly recommend 7 and 8. Have you played 7 and 8?
I've played, I think, the one where you're in the house. That's the 7th one, I think,
I
right?
think so. Yeah, that's the 7th one.
Yeah, I played that one.
Where you like, that's where you start, right?
Um,
Or I guess that's where you might be the whole game.
I think so. Yeah, like you're trapped in there, and then you gotta like escape, and I forget. I think maybe like you get to go outside or something. I don't remember. It's like a swamp area, I think. But I
Trump!
played it at
Yeah.
a friend's house when I used to live in college.
Yeah, that's the one with
Not
like the
live in college, I used to live in
Louisiana
college.
weird family. Like, there's the infection that spread to the whole family, and
Yeah.
you're Ethan, whatever his name is. Ethan Stone or something like that.
I
That
think
might
the
be a
most
porn
wild thing
star's
to
name.
me about that game is like your hand will get cut off and he'll just like pour some water on it and he's like, oh, I'm okay now. I'm still Thanos. All right, let's go.
Now you're Thanos with a finished painting.
Sometimes painting requires the strongest wills.
And that's what you showed here today.
Cool.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Thank you.
I loved what you did with the hatching. It looks like
Kind of looks like leather.
yeah. It also reminds me of like marbled paper too, like a
Mhm.
certain style of marbled paper. I forget what it's called. Not suminagashi, but it's like I think it's like a Danish technique, not a Danish technique. I'll have to look it up, but it's another version of paper marbling where they take like a wooden rod with like uniform like nails at the bottom of it, and then they just run it across their painted water, and then they'll run their paper through it.
That's cool. Is there anything else we can do to it, or?
So there are a couple things you could, let's see. Let me sir. I have sponges. I have like strainers that you could like put residual paint through to create little dots.
Okay.
There's also,
Could try the strainer, I think.
yeah, there you go.
Got some white. I got some Snow White, as Bob Ross would say. And then I just pour it through and then.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see how this looks. This is like anime music and like you just killed your best friend because he's evil or something. It's pretty cool. Thank you. I mean, no problem. I don't know why I said thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Would you like to add some heat to it?
I'm gonna do the little comb thing one more time.
Yeah.
And then yes. I say let's go for it. But I'm gonna do it like halfway.
And you could just keep going with it, I just feel like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Shoe Fresh says to Monochrome Sweatsuit, you're thinking of Evan Stone. And now I'll pretend I don't actually know the names of porn stars.
Evan Stone, yeah, there was a Man Show episode where they did a porn star summer camp, like bit with like Adam. I can barely remember their names. There's Jimmy Kimmel, and then Adam Carolla. Is that his name? All right. I feel like when I say Adam Carolla, I'm like, I feel like I'm saying.
You're like, that's wrong.
Anyways, they did a bit where they did a fictional summer camp where they go away to spend time with adult film stars they looked up to. And Evan Stone and Peter North and Ron Jeremy are all in the same bit.
God.
And this is years before Ron Jeremy got his prison sentence that he's now serving.
Wait, Ron Jeremy's in prison?
Oh, yeah.
What'd he do?
What didn't he do?
What did he do?
It's a laundry list.
Oh, God.
Yeah, after the show, I'll tell you. It's wild.
Oh, is it that bad?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Wow, now it's frosty. Now it feels like an Arctic, like
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Okay.
winter leather?
Winter leather. I like the sound of that.
Winter leather?
Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time. There we go.
Yes.
And then,
Yeah, I really enjoy your layering process.
thank you. Try my best. Is it okay to do it like this? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there are no wrong ways.
Okay, cool. Smash.
So sometimes I'll do that too, and I'll call it like a skewer swipe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another technique that I didn't get to go over, but that you're already doing
Oh.
naturally.
It's like Master Oogway. There are no accidents. Get it like there we go, like halfway, and then just. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the tilt
Cool. All right. I'd say we're good for the little.
for the heat.
Yes.
Okay. Thanos with the heat. Thanos with the heat type beat. Okay, let's go. It didn't really do much, but it popped air bubbles, which is always good. Sometimes if you mix your paints with a little silicone oil, which we didn't do here, but you might see us do later, then that creates a different effect that people call like it creates like cells, which is like a really cool lacing effect that I'll show you in some other pours in the future. But that's where the heat really like makes the effect like come to life, whereas here we're just kind of using it to pop air bubbles, but sometimes it can like have a completely different effect on your painting.
Cool. Wow, I'm learning
This
more.
is incredible. All right, I'm going to bring you the drying rack.
Okay, cool.
And then we're going to set this aside, unless there's anything else you want to do to it.
Well, maybe one more thing.
Keep going.
Do one more. Get some toothpaste in there. Oh, that's cool. That sounds like like Ocarina of Time, the Lost Woods, or whatever. It's like that creepypasta music that you put in reverse. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Love the music in that game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Thank you. I'm a huge video game soundtrack fan, but I will say that like I'm someone that is way late to the party on a number of games and music. I obsessed forever over like Resident Evil 4, particularly the save room music.
That's actually really calming music, though.
It is.
I think my thing is like Silent Hill. I like the soundtrack for that so much.
Well, I want to give you some mellow vibes. This painting you're making is incredible. I've been quiet over here and I've been focused and I'm looking up and I'm really liking what you made. It is a really different than like when you began and I saw the color palette. I was not expecting anything like this.
Thank you. All right. Sweet. Yeah, I kind of went with it.
Yeah, it's evolved incredibly. Like,
I like to think so. All right, I'm gonna do the comb thing one more time. Just
doing it.
to see what it looks like, and then kind of like fade it out, like see what happens. Okay. All right. I think that's enough. For real this time. I'm not lying.
For real this time.
Yes, for real. I'm not lying. I would never lie. I'm Thanos. I always tell the truth.
I'll scoot it up just a little bit, and then we're gonna zoom in for a minute just to get into the details
Also,
of it.
I want to give a little my artistic perspective here. So, let me think for a second. So these little lines right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. This little line. I'm gonna use this. The little lines on the.
There you go.
Yeah, you see all these little lines and stuff. It's pretty cool. So it's like, we could say like that's a worm, and then the comb is like, it's life force getting sucked out. You know. That's my take on it. Yeah, like.
Literally, that's the sound.
Exactly.
If this painting could have a sound, it would be.
Exactly.
That's incredible. I love it. So it is worm warp in motion. Those are just words that came out of my mouth.
Warm warp.
Warm warp.
Okay.
Very fishy scaly, says Elroy Jetson.
Fishy scaly.
Fishy scaly.
Fishy scaly.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set some of this aside, and then we're going to bring in the drying rack so you can put it up to dry. And at the end of the show, we're going to take the wireless camera and we'll go over all the paintings we did at the end.
Okay.
And you'll get to see if it changed at all just in that. Because sometimes in the amount of like an hour and a half, it will continue to evolve. It might look completely different.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I'm going to bring this to you. And you're going to put it on this shelf right here
Right
on top
of the cups.
of the cups.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
What works? Teamwork.
Let's
Let me take the
change.
gloves
The
off.
filter says Elroy. What filter do we want? What filter do we want?
What is that? Is that
Turkey.
chicken?
Chicken? Turkey?
Chicken, turkey.
Turkey? Chicken? What about...
What else? What else is there?
What about...
Triangle head. I like this.
Yeah, we'll keep this. Everyone loves it. And it affects both of us.
Oh, perfect.
So we can both be Pyramid Head. Amazing. Well,
Wow.
how do you feel coming out of your first pour?
It was very fun. New experience.
Yeah.
Never tried anything like that. It was fun. It's very calming,
Good.
soothing.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like to hear that coming out of someone's first pour because sometimes my first pour was like so chaotic that it ended up not being therapeutic, but the second one was because then it was just like I just had to figure out how to do it for the first time. And I was just in my living room like with a piece of Tupperware and like a very thin canvas and just some black and white paint, but that's how it all started and now here we are.
Nice.
So I appreciate you taking the time tonight to try that out.
Yeah, it's fun.
I definitely like, not that this episode is anywhere close to being over, but I look forward to you coming back and trying new techniques and seeing what kind of mini collection you create.
Yeah, this is very, very fun.
Photos by Harry with the Kitchen Subs! Thank you!
Thanks.
Thanks. You're great. Look at all these emotes. Photosberry said, I got my sub abilities back. She lost them. Now she's got them.
Why did you lose them?
Something happened in our system. Something happened in the system where she couldn't gift subs anymore, she said. So glad that was fixed. Thank you for the support. You are incredible. Genesis. Your pour was awesome.
Thank you.
I'm going to get these cups out of the way. If you want to take a moment and grab any water or make yourself comfortable, I'm just going to clean up the space for a moment, and then we're going to show the next color palette.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to finish off my water in that corner over there.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. This is Paint Party Online. My name is Fran. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. All right. Let's show the first photo poll options for this evening. I asked the audience to vote, I asked the audience to submit photos of heroes that could be used as color palette inspiration for tonight's episode, and here are 3 of the submissions from the Discord. Starting from the left, Fossilized Human submitted this photo from the movie Matilda, and I think I will briefly mention why he chose this photo, but he could also help explain it in chat, which I thought was really cool. We found out that after this movie was filmed, the actress who played Matilda, her real mother, passed away. And Danny DeVito actually stepped in and helped, like, support her after that, and kind of came in and stepped in as a kind of heroic figure, I'd say. So I think that was part of the motivation.
We
For
can all agree
fossilized.
Danny DeVito's a hero.
Danny DeVito's a hero in any way, in any means. You know, it doesn't have to be for this specific event, but
Anyone that
he's a
can
hero to
literally
me.
be a human cannonball and make life work like that for them and be in, count it, 30 plus iconic classic film roles. What are we talking about? You know, it's a legend.
not only film, but TV.
Yeah. So DeVito knows no bounds. The greatness goes all over the place.
I will never not be able to think, I will not be able to hear Danny DeVito's name and not automatically think about him sliding out of the leather couch in Always Sunny, doused in sanitizer. That is immediately what I think about. So the photo in the middle, moving forward, is submitted by our friend Sun King. Sun King submitted a photo of Thor. I think this is a DVD that he might own. He took a photo of the cover of it and sent it in to us. And then Query Umbra, our other friend in chat, submitted the photo of Orion to the right. So these are our three choices here. And we're starting the poll right now. Thank you, Fossilized Human. Which photo palette do you want to see used on the next painting? I'm going to make this poll a little bit bigger, a little bit more legible.
I just, Thor is such a classic imagery, and I just remember that movie Adventures in Babysitting, where Thor had just come out in theaters, and that movie shows like the fandom to where a little girl in the movie assumes that a tow truck driver is Thor and goes out and tries to like pal out with him as their car is being towed. It's really cute.
That is very cute. When did Adventures of Babysitting come out again?
That's like got to be like 87, 88.
Yeah.
It's as old as I am.
DJ SFU asks, is Thor the hero or is the DVD the hero? You
Both.
gotta ask Sun King for that one.
Both.
Both. Visk said Danny DeVito should have played Detective Pikachu. I think that's who he meant there.
I think Danny DeVito should have been Batman instead of Robert Pattinson. I think, you know, we've already seen DeVito be the Penguin, so let's try on a different outfit now.
Let's see him as the Bat. So far, Thor is in the lead. We got a little over a minute left. You can place your votes in chat. Ooh, it's a tight race between Danny DeVito and Thor, y'all. Over 500 votes are being placed, have been placed thus far. That's crazy. People can vote more than once. So we have agents of chaos in the chat.
What?
Yes.
That's bananas.
Yeah, you can use your channel points, or you can use your bits to cast extra votes.
One of you really likes Thor.
Oh,
Thor is beating it. Thor is in the lead. Ooh, 10 seconds left. Oh, over 800 votes. Oh, this is crazy. There's a brawl in the poll. Who is it? It's Thor. Thor is the winner.
barely.
Sun King submitted the photo of Thor, and so Thor it is. Thank you for voting. Let's find this photo of Thor. Let's see. There we go. My name is Team says it's rigged. This vote is as legitimate as a Russian referendum. It says fossilized human. Yeah, I wonder if it would ever be beneficial to make it to where only people can place one vote, but I kind of like the chaos it creates, not gonna lie.
No, I mean, can I tell everyone? What I'm about to tell you is what I think is correct. So it's what I know to be true, but Edgar Allan Poe actually voted multiple times illegally shortly before his death, dressed in several outfits so as to help pay off some gambling debts. And
So yes, he was
an agent of chaos.
in his own regard. And the people in chat follow suit here. Well, we have our color palette. I'm gonna have to gather my paints. I want people in chat to shout out if there are any techniques that you're itching to see in the next poll. Because I haven't quite picked a technique that I want to do tonight yet. So I want to hear what people in chat want to see. Now you get to see me with a glittery skeleton head. Ooh, shots fired. My name is Team. Just said Thor is a wannabe He-Man. Sorry, not sorry. I have no comment, but I'm excited to hear what people have got to say. Remix says a ring pour. Ring pour can definitely be an option. Do I have a rolling pin? I do not have a rolling pin fossilized human, but I should. I should get one. Did you see people pouring over a rolling pin, I wonder? Is that the technique you're going for? What are your thoughts with the rolling pin? While you guys shout out, I'm going to look for my colors. Tell me what techniques you want to see. We got ring pour as an option. What else can we do? Ooh, Fossilized says, I just thought it would be a neat variant on the squeegee. Yeah, actually, that's a cool idea. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can go to like some dollar store and get an inexpensive rolling pin that we can use for next week. I like that idea, Fossilized Human. Flip cups. Okay, so Fossil, can we put a poll in chat where we vote on which technique we'll do on this painting so I can get a little extra time. Let's do ring pour as an option. Let's do flip cup as an option. And let's do squeegee as the third option. Ring pour, flip cup, or squeegee. Those are the three you'll be voting on while I gather my paints. Thank you, Fossil, for putting that poll up. Fragile says flip cup would be good with some silicone and a dark color with no silicone, or a white. Something with contrast. Keeping that in mind, Fragile, that's a great note. Place your votes in chat now. You have a little over 2 minutes. So far, ring pours in the lead. Let's take a look real quick. Let's see. Gonna look at my photo palettes real quick. Less than a minute left. Ring pour still in the lead, y'all. I apologize in advance for the inevitable arthritis for everyone furiously clicking for the chat polls. Ring pour wins! Shout out to Remix for the ring pour recommendation. That's what we're going to be doing. Thank y'all for voting. Let's pull that palette back up. Go. Fossil says, "'Twas a glorious battle. I bow my head in defeat. Accepts defeat graciously." Okay, I've almost got all my colors together. Just need to find my creamy white here, a little cream color. There we go. Think about the orange. Aw. Remix says, "I am feeling very inspired by today's background." Thank you. This was a new background I made in Touch Center. I'm still working on it. It's not completely finished, but it has a cool result so far. I appreciate you, Remix. I am constantly inspired by your work as well and the things that you have been putting out on social media. I love getting to see your reels. I'm sure you share. I wonder if you share the same frustration with trying to make reels of your paint pours, because I know I do. Posting on social media, I struggle with in general. Well, yeah, we're getting there with this palette. I might only use 4 colors. The orange and brown in that palette is like too similar. I think I might just do these 4. I think I'm just going to do these 4. And we'll do a ring pour. Remix, whenever you do your ring pours, do you often use a split cup or do you pour into the same cup all of your colors? Fragili said, I'm feeling really inspired by today's hero selections. Hell yes. Hell yes. Yeah, it was Query Umbra who actually suggested that we do the hero themed episode, because last season we did a supervillain themed episode, so they thought it was only right for us to do the heroes as well. We're going to be doing different themes every week for the rest of the season. Starting next week, we're going to be starting off our spooky month themed episodes. So I will let you know what our first spooky theme will be by the end of the episode. Remix says, thank you so much. Oh my god, it's definitely frustrating AF. Yes. I used to pour in the same cup, but I've liked how the split cups have been coming out for me, and my mom got me a bunch of silicone ones. Oh, that's so kind. That's such a great gift. Shout out to your mom. She rules. Yeah, I think I have one more split cup, but it's only like a 3-layered split cup. So I might end up using that for the ring pour, just so I can keep some of those paints separated. But no, yeah, I appreciate hearing that you two are frustrated by those. I'm not the only one. By those reels, I mean. Fossil, I wish it was a 4-chamber, but it is a 3-chamber. Fossilized Humanist who printed these for us, shout out to him. He rules. Don't be mad at me because I haven't cleaned it out yet, because I promise I will. Luckily, acrylic paint can peel off pretty easily, and it's water soluble, so you can wash it. Good. He says he expected them to get filthy. Yes. They are used heavily. I love them. Something that I only recently got into doing, that we're going to try out, I think, on this painting. Actually, technically, Genesis canvas was prepped like this, but I started finally using acrylic gesso on my canvases, because I've had some for a while I've been sitting on, but I just haven't had the time to properly use it. And I'm going to start preparing all of the canvases with a couple of layers of gesso, just to see how it helps with the paint, to prevent the paint from soaking into the actual canvas itself and losing the saturation of the color. I have read that if you gesso your canvas a couple of times, going alternating ways to fill in the grains, the little holes into the canvas, and make it a smooth surface, that your paint will sit nicer on the canvas and you'll be able to maintain the color saturation. So that is something that we're trying this week. Genesis canvas was prepped with gesso. I believe the one I'm going to use is prepped with gesso. And I'm going to take notes and see if that has any effect on our dried results. And for all of the canvases that I end up not really wanting to keep, or that dry kind of oddly, maybe have cracks in it or something, then I'm going to utilize the gesso to create like a blank canvas again, so I can reuse those. Definitely takes a handful of layers, more layers for if you're painting over already used canvas, obviously, because you're having to cover all of those different colors. But it's definitely worth doing so you can get more life out of your canvases. And just so hopefully, yeah, you can maintain those colors. Photos by Airy. Gesso is basically like plaster. It's like a hard compound of plaster in glue. So you can like use it as a base, or you can use it when you're painting on wood. You can also use it on canvases. Elroy Jetson says, Chrome, let me get this loop. I'll give you 29,000 curio coins.
I'll hit record for you.
Remix says, great tips every time I hop in. Aw, hell yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that we can share some insight and learn together. I might use that to seal my plaster art. Ooh, Photos by Airy. That might be a great idea. Yeah, you did spell that right, by the way. Oh, Photos by Airy, your plaster canvas is cracked. Okay, then, yeah, hopefully the gesso can serve as some kind of solution for you, or at least a way for you to start fresh. Talking about those big ones that you were showing me. This palette's looking real good already. We're doing without one color, so we're going to do 4 out of 5 of these, but it's going to be great. Checking our consistencies, making sure they're all the same. We're looking for somewhere like what I would call warm honey. You want that paint to run off of your popsicle stick, but not too watery. Flat paintings would look amazing with an epoxy coat. Oh, absolutely, Fragile. I use resin on a lot of my paint pours for that same reason, to bring that life back into them. Or get that, I don't know what I was trying to say. Put that light, bring it back out of them. Bring that life back out. I don't know. Let's get to this painting. So I have a square canvas, like a 12 by 12 inch canvas that I have prepped with gesso, and this is an example of a canvas that I actually painted on already. You can kind of tell here, but I put gesso on it. And I did sand it down. Something to note, that if you're going to be using gesso on a canvas, and especially if it's on a canvas that you've already painted on, it might have dried like paint clumps, and I still have some here that are visible. But if you have sandpaper around, then you can just sand the canvas down and get it as smooth as possible before you lay your gesso down. Because the idea of the gesso is to create a smoother canvas than you had initially. So, Fragile says, I've had a ton of issues getting the silicone off my paintings for resin. When you let them dry, do you typically wipe your canvases down before putting resin on them? Do you like wipe them down with like wet wipes or anything? That's the only recommendation I've been given for that, but it might not be foolproof. I like the idea of Fran spending hours utting a Finch polish on a canvas. Ut. I learned that the character, the hero that Monochrome Sweatsuit will be showing you later, the Flaming Carrot, his sound of choice is ut.
Yeah, wait, I'm going to reveal all his powers.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I was just really excited that I found that out when I was reading about it today. And I loved that. We got our split cup here. Okay, Fragila said, I've used diluted alcohol and Windex. Interesting. Huh. Okay. I haven't used that combination, but if you have any, I would also try just like, I don't know, I use like Cottonelle wipes or Charmin wipes or whatever to wipe my canvases down in it. Sometimes it'll still leave residue, but for the most part it works. Since I have 4 colors here, I'm going to be splitting up 2 of the colors into this middle compartment. Fragili says, I'll give that a go on something I care less about. Understandable. Do you find that you can do multiple coats of resin if it's hydrophobic in areas? I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yes, if there are spots that reject the resin because there might be silicone oil on it, I typically will just like lightly sand that first coat of resin down a little bit. You don't always have to sand it, but sometimes I do. And then I will add like a second layer of resin. And it usually takes. I have had canvases that have given me incredible trouble and have just like never given me a solid cured result where it's like still tacky on the top of it. Or it will just like completely like spread around the area and just leave like a little divot or like a little hole exposing where the resin isn't, and that's always very frustrating. So I haven't quite figured that out yet either for Julie, but I'll share with you anything I find. Resin can be quite challenging to work with because it's very time sensitive. I'm just kind of pouring the remaining in the what I have over here. I don't think we have enough for just the canvas, so I'm going to prepare a base coat real quick before we get started. Oop. I don't think that cup actually should be full. Yes. Think about what background we want to use. I did miss the blue. I completely missed the blue in this palette. Where was the blue? Maybe that's what I put in. Do I use blue as my base coat, chat? Yes or no? Because I forgot that there was a blue in this photo, and I completely missed it in the palette. Let me know. Yes to blue or no? Blue is a base coat. That's what we're answering to. That would be your contrast color, exactly. All right, let's do it. Let's get some blue in here. Yeah, I got some cerulean blue. Let's freaking do this. I don't even have to mix it. Oh, probably should have mixed that paint. That paint had not been mixed in a while. Instead of using a stick, I'm use my roller. Whoa, that didn't work. There we go. Oh, Fossilized Human offers a great suggestion. I wonder if an absorbent powder like baking soda or fine sawdust could absorb the oil and then be gently brushed off. Oh, that's a really good idea. That might be worth trying. Or who am I saying? That is definitely worth trying. We're not going to focus on getting this background perfect. So we're going to be pouring right over it. So I'm just going to get the gist of it. Make sure all my sides are covered. And then we'll get to this ring pour. So the ring pour is going to force me to keep my cup in the middle of the canvas while I make small circular motions. And it's different than the dirty pour, because the dirty pour I kind of just let it rip and I'll pour it wherever and however fast and whatever, just kind of free form. But with the ring pour, it really asks that you remain in the middle and you kind of go slowly here. So I appreciate Remix for this suggestion, because I typically don't do ring pours for that reason, is because I can't keep my hands still and I just want to move it everywhere. But I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Here we go. wants to drift so bad. We're gonna keep it going. Change my face filter after this. I hope you understand. Had more paint than I thought in here, huh? Spin or tilt, chat? Do we spin it or do we tilt it? Let me know in chat. I got 2 tilts. I got 2 tilts and 2 spins, but spin could lose all those fine details, and I kind of agree. We're gonna tilt. Akina says this reminds her of picking up a seashell and looking inside. Getting to see all those fine, intricate details. Wow. Probably end up losing a lot of our blue. That's okay. It might show up again later. Going to that last corner. I really don't want to lose that pink. Scraping some of the excess paint off of the table and just layering it onto the canvas in this space here that I haven't quite stretched, just so I can maintain that paint that's there. Yeah, Trix yogurt for sure. It's giving me Go-Gurt vibes. Let's throw some heat on it real quick. Yeah, does look starburst-like. Also reminds me of Jabba the Hutt. Something about the shape of the orange and the way that it... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I really like it. Shoe Fresh says it looks like if you were looking out over a desert from orbit. I really like that. I like it oriented like this. It's the it's like this shape that reminds me of Jabba the Hutt, by the way. It's not totally random, but pretty random. Yes, there is like a very, very subtle, slight orange gradient. Or this is, I'm using like an apricot color. Or no, I'm sorry, it's a coral. It's a light coral. So that's what this color is right here. And it looks very nice against like the light magenta that we have. We did this, y'all. Thank you to Sun King for submitting the photo palette that you see here. And thank you, chat, for voting on said color palette and for voting on the technique. We used the ring pour technique, utilizing our split cup made by Fossilized Human. Ooh, yeah, heavy sherbet. I'm getting sherbet vibes. Good call, photos by Erie. Also, shout out one more time to our guest. I didn't get a chance to say this before, but I'm going to just put this in chat now. If you want to follow them, find out more about our guest Genesis, you can find out more about them at the link in chat. We're going to be taking a look at their painting at the end of the night, too, to see how it's changed. We do have one more painting to complete tonight before the end of Paint Party Online. Monochrome Sweatsuit is going to be coming onto the pouring floor soon, showing off his hero choice of the evening and giving us one last pour of the night. Fossilized Human asks, is Genesis still in the studio? Yes, they are. They are right here. ready to talk. Oh, this is perfect. You know why they asked that? Because Fossilized Human just redeemed Give 'em What For. So me and Genesis were talking about this. We were preparing.
Yeah, my mic was off. Yeah, I've been ready for this. I've kind of just been like watching. This is
Watching,
like
waiting.
This is very relaxing. I feel like I'm high and I'm not even high. So
That's the best compliment.
getting an endorphin
Well,
release right now.
I'm gonna get my wireless camera ready in a moment,
Okay, cool.
and then we're gonna go Give 'em What For.
Oh boy.
And Monochrome Sweatsuit's gonna get us a song ready.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right.
If you're new to Paint Party Online, Give 'em What For is a channel redemption feature on our channel where if you redeem it for 2,500 Curio points, you get to prompt us to give 'em what for onto Bob, our martial arts dummy, and who you're going to get to meet in just one moment. Let's see if this works. There's Genesis. And Monochrome Sweatsuit's getting the song up in just a moment.
Oh boy. Cool.
What song will it be? Crispin, wall, let's get it.
Okay, that works. All right.
We're going in the room. We're gonna blast that speaker.
Okay. Sorry, Bob. I gotta do it to you. This is so cool.
This is Bob. Welcome,
How
Bob.
do you make the gloves like bigger? Is this as big as they are? I don't know if they'll fit.
That's okay, because we have maybe try these as well. I don't know if they'll be a better size, but
Let's see. Possibly.
might be more flexible.
Yeah, stretchy. Yeah. Okay.
Let's get it. We're gloving up here. We're gloving up at Curio Lab.
Oh wow! I can't wait to be on World Star. Okay.
This is the beginning of your World Star reel.
I'm really sorry, Bob. Alright, so I can just punch him, right?
You just start going. We'll count down.
Oh, I missed. Okay, there we go.
This is the Bob POV. Nice kick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it. Counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. Genesis gave him what for. How's it feel? Woo.
Pretty good.
Pretty worn out?
A
Bob
little bit,
looks
yeah.
beat. Bob looks like he can handle some more though, you know?
Yeah. I think that final kick.
That's for me.
The icing on the cake.
That's for me. All right, well, let's go. We're back. We're going back to the studio.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're saying let's go and beat him up.
We're just going to keep going. Let's go. Thank you, Genesis.
Yeah, thank you.
You killed that.
Ooh, I killed Bob. We televised murder.
We televised that beatdown. The Curio Lab equivalent of making your bones. That's how we like to let off a little steam. Sometimes, you know, you're in the creative zone. You're really focused. Sometimes you got to be pulled out of it, and you got to like get your adrenaline up. You know. Your head kicks were very proper.
I used to do karate as a kid. No. It was kind of high, though. I was like, oh, man, that's higher than I thought. But, yeah, it was pretty cool.
You realized the limitation of your hips?
It wasn't even that. It was just like, oh, yeah, a little bit, actually. When I think about it, I was like, maybe I need to stretch a little bit more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to just be like, oh yeah, I'll throw kicks, no problem. And I got humbled really quickly, so I've actually had to start stretching more to be able to do head kicks for giving 1-4.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Well, thank you, Fossilized Human, for redeeming that for us, because I was hoping someone would, because we had planned. We'd planned, and Genesis said they were down, so I was excited for that.
Yeah, it was fun. That was a good stress reliever.
Well, I'm going to put my painting on the drying rack. And then we'll get moving on to the final painting of the evening from Monochrome Sweatsuit. We did this.
While you're moving the painting, I'm going to read some things about the flaming carrot.
Okay.
So, truth be told, full transparency, I tried to find a superhero that was... One, I misunderstood the assignment, and I thought it was just, I thought it was superheroes, not just heroes. So I went hard and tried to find someone I had never heard of to find something different. And I went solely based off the looks of something. But now that I'm actually learning out the character, I'm really stoked that this is who I picked. Can I tell you a couple facts?
Please.
Okay. First of all, the comic was debuted inside of like a guide at a convention in Atlanta. So like this used to be inside of a pamphlet. So basically the flaming carrot is supposed to be kind of like a failed superhero, kind of like one of the mystery men. And the superpowers are very strange. First of all, the carrot mask goes from above the head until like, way past the chin. And it is a mask. You could go ahead and show it. But people describe him as he is, if all other superheroes are Tom Sawyer, he's Huckleberry Finn. That's the way they describe it. He's a little too much. He just might be he's a little too much in most social situations. Oh, there he is. Okay. So... all right, I'm just going to read the bio because it's so good I don't have to dress it up. The carrot wears a costume that consists of a giant carrot mask, red pants, white shirt, and flippers on his feet in case he has to swim. The mask has a continually burning flame at the top and a secret compartment containing nuclear-powered pogo sticks. So if he needs to pogo stick at a nuclear-powered level, just get inside the secret compartment. The flaming carrot also wears a crime-fighting utility belt, which is filled with silly putty, rubber bands, laughing gas, random playing cards, sneezing powder, and other similarly frivolous items. The flaming carrot's equipment got upgraded after being brought back from the dead, in which after the case he relied heavily on his 9mm pistol to kill his enemies.
When in doubt.
Just that ending sentence is all of it. That's everything. It's like, and ultimately just got a gun and shot their enemy.
It's like if Batman if he had no morals. And with a carrot.
It's so good. So, yeah, at that rate, here I come.
Here we go. I'm getting your paints ready now.
Nice.
And did you know what kind of technique you wanted to do?
I think I'm gonna do a dustpan.
Okay.
I was talking shit earlier, and you know what? I'm gonna make good on what I was talking about.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gathering your paints here. I'm gonna see if I can find you some more of this color right here. We got sunflower yellow. We're We're gonna use a metallic blue for this sky blue. Do Carrot Man proud.
You know what I just
He said-
realized when she said it like that?
What?
I misread it at first as do Cartman proud, and that is like all of the colors in Eric Cartman's outfit. It's all of them.
Damn, unintentional.
So that's,
But
I guess, how
incredible.
I'm going to say is my secondary hero is Carrot Man / Cartman.
Virgilia said I was thinking that too. Okay. I just need to find you an orange and a black, and then we're ready.
All right, I'm going to get some gloves on.
Eric Carrotman. Okay. You want to do another layer over this? This is great. I was actually hoping someone would want to do that. Let me set this aside. We'll bring this back into the mix. This is a paint pour that we've done 2 layers over so far on Paint Party. I made the background using a sponge brush, and then this layer on top is using a dustpan. So we're going to add an additional dustpan layer on top using those and using those paints. Let's stick this one to the side and let's try this one. Nope, you could literally just start filling in your dustpan because you already have all this paint on here. This is when you covered your barb. Already looking great so far. Just in the dustpan itself. It's a perfect place to try to shed. And just remember that you're going to want to fill that up as probably, you're going to want to fill it up as much as you can. Yeah, I like the composition. I like the way you're filling in the dustpan. Because then it will create a completely different spread than like what was underneath. Oh shit. I just forgot no one can hear you.
Hey, hey, hi, hi, ho, ho, hey, hey. I'm going wild with this. Treating that like mustard for a second. And then starting a little sub-composition on that. Here we go. Genesis, are you doing anything fun for the October holidays at all? Are you doing anything spooky?
Am I doing anything spooky for October? I don't know yet. I don't really have any concrete plans. I was planning on going to Asheville this weekend.
Oh, sick.
See some friends.
That place
So,
rules.
Yeah, I like it. I've been once. I went for a wedding that I took pictures for.
Hell yeah.
So
Are you taking pictures this time?
for myself mainly, but yeah, I'm going to visit some friends and take some pictures of the area, like landscapes and stuff. It's like a very, I don't know, I feel like North Carolina, a lot of parts of it, and like Tennessee are like very calming
Yes.
and like quiet, especially when you get up the mountains and stuff. So I really like that.
I have
agree
a
with you.
family out in East Tennessee, and I enjoy that drive so much.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
pretty cool.
Beautiful.
You like road trip playlist or something. A road trip playlist, honestly. As far as October. I don't even call it October anymore. As far as October goes, I'm not sure yet. On the plans. Kind of want to go to Halloween Horror Nights in Florida.
Oh,
but I'm not
that would be
sure.
dope.
Yeah, I've never been. I used to be like, oh, things are scary. Scary stuff is not fun. But now I'm kind of like, no, scary stuff is cool because it's not real. So.
Have you heard of Netherworld?
We've got Netherworld here in Atlanta.
About Netherworld?
Like
We-
from Minecraft?
We've got a haunted house here that I think Wes Craven did it back in the day, and I don't
Oh.
know who does it now, but it's like a pretty crazy haunted house north of Atlanta slightly. And I think they have like 3 haunted houses this year, and one of them is 3D. So like just kind of like just from like I don't know, just to even see from that, I just kind of want to check that out, the 3D deal.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. It's 3D.
I would do it. But before you know it, they're gonna have like metaverse haunted houses.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, isn't the metaverse a haunted house?
You know what? You bring up a really good point.
Yeah, that's actually really
That is the ultimate haunted house.
Yeah. Zuckerberg's gonna ban me from Instagram now.
What is Mark Zuckerberg gonna be for Halloween?
I don't know.
An MMA fighter, his favorite one, because now that's what he thinks he is after that footage came out online.
Wait, what footage?
Yeah, have you seen this, Genesis?
No.
He paid a MMA trainer to like start giving him private lessons, and like I can tell you from experience, like this guy is for sure making Mark look great.
Really?
In the footage, it's the funniest footage in the world of Mark Zuckerberg like shooting for takedowns and throwing really awkward kicks, and like trying to wrestle. It's just so goofy looking, and he just looks like the person in class you would most easily be able to ragdoll.
Oh my gosh.
He just looks like it's great.
we really pissed him off this time. He's had enough.
He's called the silent killer on the mat. That's
Oh
what they
my
call
God.
him.
Silent killer.
What did they call me? The silent killer.
Would you guys mind? Would it be okay if I could get called the silent killer? I mean, afterward we could have some sweet baby rays. Sorry.
This looks incredible already, just in the dustpan.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
really doing a lot of cool stuff with the colors. So I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to turn out.
Every one of my dustpan pours in the past have not turned out well, so I really am trying to have one that turns out okay. We're about to do it though.
Highly
it's almost
critical of his work.
The backdrop for this picture kind of reminds me of A Tribe Called Quest for some reason. I don't know
there.
why.
Ooh.
At least the coloring. It's the purple and the yellow, maybe, and the black.
So I could go for it.
You can go for it.
Had some issues, but that's okay.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
It just adds even more depth to it. It's like a psychedelic waveform, man.
Yeah. Kind of is. Just gotta beat the devil out.
There we go. Guess now I tilt.
If you want.
It's kind of freaking me out because it's like if you look at the screen and like while it's moving, it kind of looks like it's literally jumping out. That is so trippy. What the hell? That literally looks like it's like shooting out of the actual painting. Just from this perspective. I don't know if that looks like that for the people watching too.
Now this is better. This is what I wanted out of it. where we get to see those colors spread out and breathe a little bit.
That's trippy.
There we go.
So this would be like the road splatter if like the flaming carrot got ran
The
over.
flaming carrot shot somebody. This is his first murder.
This is it. Yeah, I like this. This is cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It's funky
Yeah. I
in
like
the
it.
best way.
It's very cool.
Well,
Oh wow. Oh, it's cool. Kind of reminds me of like Saturn's clouds and stuff.
yeah.
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 They kind of like swirl.
There we go. The flaming carrot did this.
We did this. Wow. Yeah. The flaming lips. What is that from? That sounds familiar. Is that what? Is there a band? Maybe that's why that sounds familiar.
That's the band that like they remember when Miley Cyrus was going super hard into drugs and then just hard stopped.
Yeah.
That's the band she was hanging out with right before she hard stopped because they like really go hard on the acid.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Wayne Coyne does not play with the LSD, and she was trying to hang out with them, and I think they took her too far.
Oh wow. So they like scared her straight.
Yeah, yeah, they literally did scare her straight.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so yeah, yeah. Let me do it. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. This really reminds me of like Jupiter or Saturn or something. That's really cool.
Cells you made.
That's sick.
That's what you did with your heat.
Added a couple more.
Yeah, that's good.
It's kind of like the closer you zoom in, the more it looks like you're looking under a microscope.
Yeah.
Can you do it again, like one more time? Yeah. That literally looks like the inside of like a cell or something. That's sick. Or like a blood vessel or something. That's cool.
Looks like-
Damn, that's cool.
I like this.
This makes me want to start smoking weed again.
It's like an outer space coral reef.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
Marble, 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 marble. I'm gonna leave this one. It's fucking.
I'll
I like
I'll
it.
do the marble again next week for sure.
They're popping. Look at all those cells popping up.
Yeah.
The cells that I was telling you about.
Yeah, this is sick.
Yeah, you killed it.
Thank you. That's the most cell reactive one I've had in a long time.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Did this.
$100.
200.
Thank you for bringing us another one, or for making us another one this week. That one can actually stay.
Okay.
That's the last one of these.
Okay.
That's cool.
I might ask to just take that mic back from you. Is that okay?
Bye, y'all.
Yeah. I like the way it shapes the back of my head.
I get a closer look at it real quick.
Look at that. Mm.
Oh wow.
Genesis, come in here and take a look.
This is very cool. This literally looks like it's like popping out. That's awesome.
It's popping out in your face.
Popping fresh. Wow. That's sick.
Well, thank you, Genesis, again for coming by today
Ah.
and painting with us, experimenting, meeting our friends in chat. I think everyone really enjoyed getting to meet you and hang out with you today. I'm speaking for all of chat here.
I hope so. Especially me beating up Bob.
Yes, here. Let's get you back in the frame.
That
here.
was the
Oh,
best
okay.
Bob beating by far.
Really?
Hands, yeah, you crushed it. Like I really have got to practice my kicks more.
I haven't kicked like that in forever.
I'm
Cool.
curious to know if you're sore tomorrow.
No, I mean I feel fine. If anything, my legs feel fine.
Now you do.
Now they do.
we'll have to have you back over just for a session on Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a martial arts class together.
Channel my rage.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We do this every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Explore the art of acrylic paint pouring, where you, the viewer, get to submit photos we might use for color palette inspiration. You also get to vote on which colors we use, which techniques we use, and help collaborate on some really cool paintings every Tuesday. If you're interested in purchasing paintings in the future, we have a shop link, !shop in chat will bring you to our shop. I just dropped, actually, I'm going to show you guys real quick before we go, 2 new things that dropped in the shop today. I was mentioning resin art going in the giveaway bag, but I want to show you some resin art that just dropped in the shop in case you don't want to wait for the giveaway. Going to my screen now. Here we go. On the shop, we dropped these today. 2 resin sets, including 1 rolling tray, a screw top jar, a rounded ashtray, and a heart-shaped dish. This is the blue reptile set. You can look at this at our website, curiolab.tv/shop. We also have a neon green version. And these are available on our shop now. There are only 2 finished right now, so these are the only 2 available. But if you're ever interested in having a set made custom, you can always email us or contact me directly, and we can have that made. We also will be putting this full episode up on our Patreon. And if you subscribe to our Twitch, you get access to the archive on the Twitch channel. So if you want to watch this episode later, you can watch it on the Twitch channel. And if not, then you can check out our Patreon, subscribe there, where we host our entire archive, as well as deliver bi-monthly goodies to our $7 tier patrons, where we send them art and little gifts every other month just to show our appreciation. So I appreciate everything that you guys contribute through watching, through subbing, cheering bits, through chatting, through voting, all of it. It really means the world to us. And every dollar given is put right back into the network to help us continue doing what we're doing, to work with other artists, and to keep growing. So we really appreciate it. We love you, and we'll be back here this time next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, for another Paint Party Online. Join us tomorrow at 9 p.m. for Brother Brown's Baked Beats, featuring Brother Brown, bassist of Chris Benoit. He makes 3 beats from scratch. He tracks live bass, and he has fun guests on too. We may be having a guest on tomorrow that you'd be interested in hearing from. So come check it out at 9 p.m. right here, same time, same place. This is Curiolab. We thank you. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Woo!